Quarterbacks have worked very hard. All of them have put a lot of time into studying and knowing what their assignments are, and each guy's gone in there and had some good moments. And each guy's had some moments that weren't so good. But it looks to me that that position is being coached very well, and it's progressing right along like we expected it to. We really liked his intelligence. We liked the fact that he had played a bunch of football. We liked the fact that he had played football in a similar system relative to Chan Gailey's system in Buffalo. We liked the fact that he was a guy that we thought would be a good system fit, meaning he was an intelligent guy, a good leader, a guy that was an accurate passer. And we felt like just with every position here, we felt like what was best for the Houston Texans was to find a good fit at quarterback for our system, and he was the guy that we thought fit that. We've talked about that. Ryan and I have talked about that. I know George has talked about it to him a lot. It's about decision making and not forcing the ball, and understanding that, for instance, you got a really good back out of the backfield in Foster that, you can always check it down to, or maybe a tight end underneath, or a slot receiver. So, we believe in our system, but at the end of the day, Ryan, he needs to go out there and make good decisions and make sure that, he's doing what's best for the team. When he came in, when he started studying, and, you'd say, hey, this is what we're doing here in this protection, for instance. Oh, yeah, we did that in Buffalo, but we called it this. I can relate it. And there were a lot of things that he could relate to what he'd done in the past, and he was able to pick up something that, somebody else calls apples, we call oranges, and he was able to pick that up. And then with Savage, we put a lot of time in with him, meeting with him, studying him, and talking to him. And he was a guy that came across to us as a hardworking guy and an intelligent guy, and that seems to be the case to this point, here in the spring. I believe that he's a leader. He's a guy that's really been here every day just about since I've been hired here. He's put in a lot of time. I think he's a really good football player. Like I said, he's one of the leaders of this football team, and he's worked extremely hard every day this spring. And, it's a guy like a lot of these guys here that you really look forward to seeing every day when you come to work. And he's going to play well in 2014. He'll play good. A slot corner has to have quickness, has to have strength, has to have awareness, has to be able to, relative to the strength, I said, has to be able to tackle, because they can be a force player on certain versus certain formation and nickel runs that they see. They have to be able to tackle. So it's a position that's very tough to play. And when you have a guy like Kareem, who's doing that for us right now, who can play outside and inside, he's a guy that's playing inside for us too. Elbert Mack, these are guys that are very competitive guys. I think even Boye could go in there maybe and do some things for us in there. So we have some guys that can do it and have progressed and improved every single day doing it here this spring. It was good for him to play last year, definitely. He obviously gained some experience doing that. He's come in and worked extremely hard. He's been here for most of the offseason before April 7th when we started. He's a guy that's a very competitive guy. It's important to him. Football is really, really important to him. He takes the coaching well, and, he's had a good spring. We used to talk about this a lot, George and I, that, second to quarterback, probably center and tight end are the two hardest positions to learn, because at tight end, you're involved in all parts of the game. You have to be knowledgeable in the passing game, obviously, in the running game, and we use them in protections too. So that's not an easy position to learn. And those two guys, along with the other tight ends, I think, including CJ, have really come in here and learned well and done some really good things. Like everybody, they've had their share of not so good moments, but they've had a lot more good moments than they have had poor. I think these guys do a really good job of teaching and evaluating, and we talk about the roster every day, regardless of whether it's a young player or a player that's been in the league for a while. We evaluate the roster every single night when we watch the tape, and how is this guy fitting in with our system? How's he playing? How's he picking it up? How's he competing? How is he as a teammate? Is he coachable? Yeah, we talk about that all the time, and this is a staff of guys that all have good experience, and we're really, I believe at this point, working well together. Just like any staff, it's not like it's a bed of roses every day. We all have strong personalities, and we have good debates in the staff room. But at the end of the day, I have a lot of trust in the assistant coaches and what they see and how they teach and how they coach. With our secondary, we've moved guys around quite a bit. We've moved, obviously, with Jonathan out for the spring. We've moved Kareem into the slot, like I said, and we've brought Boye in, and we've brought Elbert Mack in, and we've brought Josh Victorian in, and all of those guys have done a really good job. So to this point, we're always going to do what's best for the football team, but I believe that we have a very competitive secondary, and we're still evaluating where they all fit. A lot of those guys, like, for instance, Elbert Mack, he does a really good job on special teams. So he's a guy that's involved in a lot of different parts of the team. And, to this point, I've been happy with where we're at in the secondary. In Lewis and Clemens, you have guys that have played a lot of football. They can play in the box. They can play in the deep part of the field. We've got a young guy back there that we drafted in Lonnie Valentine that has done some decent things. So we've got Eddie Pleasant and Shiloh Keogh that have really competed hard in the offseason here, and again are guys that are competing hard on special teams. So we have a diverse group of safeties back there, and they're all competing hard, and just probably the same would be said for every position out here. Training camp will be the true test for all these players.